Welcome to Dialogue this week. In this corner, we invite guests from in and out of Korea to talk about a wide variety of issues, ranging from culture and sports to the latest trends around the world. Now, like we've just heard from our previous report, just yesterday on May 10th, South Korean superstars BTS kicked off the first day of their three-day concert titled BTS Permission to Dance on Stage in Seoul. This will be the septet's first in-person concert in Seoul since their world tour performance in 2019, and the first such concert to be held since the COVID-19 pandemic reached the shores more than 2 years ago. Despite South Korea seeing huge numbers of infections every day, tickets sold out immediately as fans were eager to be able to see their favorite members face to face. The Culture Ministry gave the green light for only 15,000 people to attend each of the 3 live music events as a virus prevention measure. Tickets to watch concerts online live streams also sold out in flash. So how did the first day go? And what more can we expect from the boy band this year? For this, we're joined by Jeff Benjamin, journalist and K-pop columnist at Billboard, and David Kim, creator and founder of DKDK TV, a YouTube channel that digs deeper into the Korean wave, both via Skype. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Well, let's start with David. The concert on Thursday was the largest scale event approved by the South Korean government since the outbreak of the pandemic, the first in-person concert since 2019. David, can you start us off with the fans' response from last night?
Oh, yeah, so I haven't been to the concert myself yet, and I'm planning to go on Saturday, but from what I've been seeing and hearing through social media and my friends that actually went, the fan response was explosive, and it was a mix of everything. I think it was like an emotional roller coaster, happiness, tears, amazement, and more. And I think definitely it being like the first in-person concert in 2.5 years would have added more emotion to the fans, of course, and also seeing BTS perform songs like On that were meant to be spectacular performances. Created particularly for offline performances, gave a lot of amazement towards the ARMY, and everyone was definitely excited. And all in all, I think the fans were mostly overwhelmed with emotions to be able to see the boys at last and gathering in that stadium with light sticks and such. Yeah.
Wow, I can't imagine. It must have been a big night for them. But David, a BTS concert involves more cheering and screaming or singing than a sporting event. The Seoul Olympic Stadium has a seating capacity of 70,000 people, but attendance for the concert last night and for this weekend as well is limited to 15,000. So what measures were taken on the scene in terms of efforts to prevent the spread of COVID-19?
Oh, well, first of all, as you mentioned, the seat restrictions would be one of the biggest measures, and it's kind of sad that each concert was restricted to a cap of 15,000 because for a fact, I would say there are 10 times that number of ARMY that would die to go see that concert. And because of the limited seats, only 45,000 people could go to the concert and watch BTS, so it's kind of a bummer. But besides the seat caps, there were also restrictions such as no screaming or singing, and of course masks were mandated. But yeah, there were so many complaints about the no chanting and screaming rule because honestly, BTS concerts or any concert is about jumping, screaming, and singing along. And in the case of BTS, there are signature chants and ways to sing particular songs, which is one of the biggest concert experiences. But ripping that part out really messes with the experience, in my opinion. But despite this, I was really amazed how BTS maintained a very positive mindset because they were like, "Oh, this is our first time having a silent clapping concert, but we'll just try harder to give you good energy, and it's just great to see you guys in real life." So yeah. Other than that, I think they had clapper thingies to substitute for the screaming, and I guess that was better than nothing. Yeah.
Well, let's turn to Jeff then. This in-person concert took place despite the Omicron wave that's setting new records for new daily cases. How do you see the significance of that not having hindered the concert from taking place?
Yeah, I think it's it's just totally a testament for sure to just the excitement and sort of the importance that BTS has as performers. I was so lucky to actually be able to see their first concert back when they came to America in Los Angeles, and I remember it was a emotional show, but you could really just tell how happy the guys were and how important it was to be back with fans and be able to give those stages, give those great performances once again. And I think that speaks to something maybe much bigger than just being able to sell out a certain amount of tickets or be able to have a huge gross, which we know BTS can do. We know how amazing the numbers are, but really beyond that, it was just so uplifting and so wonderful to be able to have those performances again and be able to meet in person again. And I think that significance is much larger than anything beyond the numbers, beyond something like that. It's being able to come back and show that, the significance of music and the significance of these performances. I think that goes beyond, any numbers or anything of the sort like that.
Jeff, also, following the Seoul concert series this weekend, BTS will also have their in-person concert in Las Vegas next month after attending this year's Grammy Awards. So how has this been received stateside?
Yeah, it's a really cool moment for them because Las Vegas has definitely become a really big music city. So many artists have residencies in Las Vegas. Adele even is creating her own Las Vegas residency performance right now. It's become a really big music city because Las Vegas has always been a really fun city, a place that you go to have fun. And it's also become a place where you go to see special shows. Now, of course, BTS's concert has totally sold out. It's as to be expected from BTS. The tickets sold out right away. And the most amazing part actually was that it actually sold out to only fan club membership. Tickets were originally available first for members of the Global Army Fan Club. And actually, those tickets entirely sold out just from members of the Army and members of the fan club. So even though, many people they go to Las Vegas and they say, "Oh, we'll check out a show tonight," or "We'll come for this person in this show," it's become such a destination and BTS has such significance for their live shows in America that actually the general public didn't even get the chance to buy these tickets. So to say that it was well received is almost an understatement because they really had a huge hot response.
Well, it really is a huge privilege to be in there. Well, in 2020, BTS set a Guinness record for attracting the most viewers for a live stream music concert. And the ongoing concert series is also available online streaming, and separate tickets were sold for that. And the Saturday night concert is scheduled for live broadcasts in movie theaters around the world. So, David, you said you're going to be there. Do you think this is going to become a part of post-COVID concert culture, or this is more a transitional accommodation?
In my opinion, I think it's definitely going to stay for a while or even permanently. I'm no industry expert, but if you just think logically, there's no reason for the companies to get rid of online streaming or the theater experiences. It's such a huge additional revenue source. And also for the fans, it's beneficial because fans that cannot get access to the concert physically, they can have some kind of way to enjoy the concert as well. And I personally think it's really good because it enables the concert to reach as many fans as possible, especially considering how global BTS Army is. For example, like a fan in, say, Alaska could attend the concert thanks to the streaming. And also from what I know, in Korea, the demand for the cinema viewing was so high that cinema companies issued thousands of more tickets to match the demand. And I mean, with all the high tech going on with the concerts, like the multicam, the Bluetooth, synchronized light sticks, and real-time subtitles, all that kind of stuff, I think online streaming or theater experiences are not such of a bad option compared to the real concerts as well. So if you can't get your hands on concert tickets, might as well go to theaters or enjoy the online streaming.
Well, like we just said, since BTS is holding a concert in Seoul over the weekend and the boy band is also set for another series of shows in April in Las Vegas, I'm curious, do you think anything would be different in those concerts? And also, are there any distinctive differences between Korean fans and fans from overseas?
Well, unfortunately, as a Korean, since there are less COVID restrictions in the States, the energy will obviously be different. The crowd size and the screams are probably going to be incomparable to the Korean concerts. And also, out of experience and what I've heard throughout the years, I think there are some differences between Korean and international fans. For Korean fans, I think they are a little more unified and like to be very organized in the chanting and cheering, while I think the international fans tend to be a little more wild and free during concert settings. And also about Korean fans, there's the daechang culture. You might explain it as the singing along culture. In Korea, it's pretty huge, and I'm not saying that international fans don't sing along, but since most of the lyrics and songs are in Korean, it's easier for Korean fans to fully follow the song in sync with each other.
Wow, I would like to have a chance to attend both concerts if I can. But we slightly mentioned this earlier, but the Grammy Awards. After being postponed due to COVID-19, have been set to be held on April 4th. So Jeff, why do you think it is that even after having such a blockbuster year, BTS only landed one Grammy nomination? They released 3 #1 singles last year.
Yeah, and we talked about this, I think, a bit last year too, and it was definitely a discussion being had. Just where is that larger recognition? And the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to the Grammys is that it is the one award show that is not based on numbers or sales or charts or anything like that. It is decided by a larger academy and a voting academy at that. But that being said, I too was a little disappointed. I truly thought that Butter was going to get some more larger recognitions, especially in the Record of the Year category, which specifically recognizes songs that have had a larger impact as the song themselves. So the biggest #1 song of the past year in America not getting a recognition on Song of the Year, it's a little suspect. But it's unfortunate, but I think it's created a lot of larger discussions just about why artists of certain areas or of certain minorities aren't getting that larger recognition. And that when BTS, when they're just going to come back, I think, with even better music, when the heat gets put on them, more music, better things are going to come. So I think that while it's unfortunate this time that they didn't get those additional recognitions, which I think were very much deserved, at least very much in the Record of the Year category, I do think, hopefully this is all creating larger discussions, larger opportunities for BTS to be able to do even better in the future.
Yes, indeed. Well, David, you might remember that many fans were disappointed, like what we said when the award that BTS was nominated for at last year's Grammys for the track Dynamite was given to Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande's Rain on Me. What do you think things would look like for this year?
So I think it's positive to see them get nominated consecutively by the Grammys in a general fields award category, but I honestly don't know whether they'll win or not. Jeff might know better, but not because they don't deserve a Grammy or anything. As a fan and even objectively, I feel like BTS is already overqualified for a Grammy at this point, considering all their records and all what they achieved on global charts and their influence among the global music market. But nevertheless, the Grammys were always kind of very conservative and authoritative with their own standards about what quality music is and with their exclusive Grammy committee votes. So I honestly have no idea whether BTS will receive an award this year. But on top of that, if you look at the competitors, some I remember are like Doja Cat, Justin Bieber, Coldplay, etc. So it's definitely not going to be easy. But again, Billboard Butter was on Billboard #1 for like 10 weeks straight, and it did get a AMA as well. So I think this is their biggest shot in getting a Grammy. And but at the end, not the Grammys don't matter that much. I think BTS is overqualified and they don't need validation at this point. So, yeah,
Right. But even so, let's hope for the best.
yes.
But before we let you go, Jeff, tell us about BTS merchandise, with the group now having a collection at Nordstrom. Is this a collaboration that came in time for the Las Vegas concert? And what kind of merchandise is being sold?
Yeah, well, and the thing to recognize here is that not every musician and artist can easily get a merchandise line in a place like Nordstrom's, which is in, every state. It's very well known, very well recognized around America. You really do need to have that larger mainstream appeal to not only land your merchandise and land your products in a place like Nordstrom's, but also to be able to successfully have it launch like that, and to get the excitement and the hype around that's already been happening with the line already. So it's really cool to see. There's everything from the really really obvious BTS merchandise that is specifically has the guys on it or might have their logos on it, to things that are a little more subtle, that are inspired by their music titles or their song titles or their albums. It's a really cool mix of different products that fans are going to be able to see, and also hopefully just the general consumer might be able to get interested in, whether that is taking something that they like, the sweater or they like the shirt, or school merchandise, whatever it might be, and being able to kind of recognize and wear BTS proudly, whether you're a fan or not. I think it's a really really cool move, and definitely something to show sort of that larger recognition and that larger mainstream appeal that BTS has in America, for sure.
All right. I'm afraid we will have to wrap up at this point, but thank you so much for making time for us, Jeff and David. We'll look forward to speaking to you again after the concerts as well.
Yeah, let's get that Grammy. Come on.